The sound of engines filled the air as I stood on the ridge overlooking the Dutch countryside. Operation Market Garden was underway, and as a German officer, I knew that this was a critical moment. The Allies were attempting a bold push to end the war quickly by capturing key bridges and breaking through our lines. My orders were clear: we had to hold our positions and prevent them from succeeding. The skies were filled with Allied planes, and the distant hum of gliders and paratroopers descending behind our lines was unsettling. We had heard rumors about the scale of the operation, but seeing it unfold was something else entirely. The sight of thousands of parachutes opening in the sky was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. It was a clear sign that we were in for a brutal fight. Our forces were spread thin, and we were outnumbered. The Allies had the advantage of surprise and overwhelming air support. As we scrambled to regroup and form defensive lines, I could see the determination in the faces of my men. We were experienced soldiers, veterans of countless battles on the eastern and western fronts, and we knew how to dig in and fight. The first clashes came quickly. British paratroopers had landed near Arnhem, aiming to capture the vital bridge over the Rhine. I led my men through the narrow streets of the town, the sound of gunfire echoing around us. The British were well equipped and fought with a fierce determination, but we were determined to hold our ground. The battle for Arnhem became a brutal, close-quarters fight, with each side determined to control the key positions. The days blurred together as the fighting intensified. The British were tenacious, and their resolve was admirable. They had managed to capture parts of the town, but we were able to cut off their supply lines and isolate them. The sound of artillery and small arms fire was constant, and the air was thick with smoke and the smell of gunpowder. We fought street by street, house by house, turning every building into a fortress. Despite our efforts, the situation grew more desperate. Reports came in of American paratroopers advancing from the south, linking up with the British and pushing towards Nijmegen. The Allies were closing the gap, and it was clear that if we didn't act decisively, they would achieve their objective. I was ordered to lead a counterattack to disrupt their advance and buy us more time to reinforce our positions. The counterattack was brutal. We moved under the cover of darkness, using the terrain to our advantage. The element of surprise was on our side, and we managed to push the Allies back temporarily. The fighting was intense, with heavy casualties on both sides. The sounds of explosions and gunfire filled the night, and the cries of the wounded echoed in the darkness. As dawn broke, we regrouped and assessed the situation. The counterattack had slowed the Allied advance, but we were running out of time and resources. The Allies' superior numbers and equipment were starting to overwhelm us. Despite our efforts, it was becoming clear that we couldn't hold out much longer. The next few days were a blur of frantic activity. We fortified our positions and prepared for the inevitable final push from the Allies. The British and American forces were relentless, and their combined strength was too much for us to withstand. We fought with everything we had, but the tide of the battle was turning against us. In the end, we were forced to retreat. The bridges had fallen into Allied hands, and Operation Market Garden, despite its setbacks, had succeeded in part. As we withdrew, I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. We had fought bravely and held our ground as long as we could, but the reality of our situation was undeniable. The Allies were gaining momentum, and the war was turning in their favor. Reflecting on those days, I realized that Market Garden was a turning point. It was a testament to the bravery and determination of the soldiers on both sides. For us, it was a reminder of the challenges we faced and the strength of our enemy. As a German officer, I knew that the road ahead would be difficult, but we would continue to fight with honor and determination, no matter the odds.